You should watch the second video first. I go over all the tools that are the same in this app. Right now I'll just show you what's different about this app from the second app. Let's start in this button here where you can see your saved features. And there's a new button down here where you can save your saved features as a spreadsheet to your iCloud folder. Let's go back. Also, this button here is new. If you have a geographical area that doesn't have a name that you want to include in your heat map, you can add a feature that way. First, put your search point where you want it. I'm just going to pick a random spot, touch on the button, put in a name, and it will add that to your heat map. And you can see them in your saved list again here. I'm going to turn them off. Let's go into polygons. Here the only added thing is that you can copy a polygon with this button here. Go in, let's delete that. Close that up. And now in your categories list. What is different here is also you can save your categories out to a spreadsheet like that. I'm going to call the headers of the categories category, and what's inside the categories we'll call terms. So inside your categories there's a new button called All Classes. You can touch on that button and limit a particular term to a particular class. Instead of searching all the classes, for instance, you could limit this term to cliff. So the default is all classes, of course. Also inside the category list, if you hit the edit button, you can now change the position of your terms and of your categories. Let's get on to the actual heat map. The way the heat map works is through proximity of categories. So if you only have one category on, even if you had 4 search terms on, it will still produce a map that was all blue because it doesn't have any proximity to another category. So you have to have at least 2 categories before you start to see a heat map. If you were the searcher with the exact right answers, you would have 9 categories with a term in each one. Since none of us are that way, the more likely scenario is that you'll probably have about 20 categories and about 3 to 10 terms in each one, so that you can search around and see where things end up that way. Right now I just have 6, so you could have 3 or 4 and you would still be able to see a heat map. One new thing is you can start a word with a backwards bracket like this here. It will only use terms that start with, in this case, ice, or you can use a forward bracket like this, and it will only show you search terms with that word at the end. You can be a little more specific in your terms that way. Okay, let's get some more on here. Again, I've just got some random terms in and about 6 categories. Let's see what that looks like. And there's a more normal heat map. Another thing is you can scrub across your pens. So if you touch down on a pen and then just move your finger around, you can start to see all the feature names and the categories that they're under that way. One thing I noticed is this plus button. If it is above a pen, it will have a hard time trying to add that category like that. So if that happens, just zoom in until it's in a clear area, then you can add it that way. And there it is again in your saved list. Let's turn that back off. Every time that you come out of a table like that, it will just clear your heat map until you hit this button again. So that is your heat map at work. Hopefully you can see how that would be useful in your search, and good luck in the chase.